students, welcome back to Science World, and if you find this video useful for you, then please like, comment and share with your friends. Also subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get notification of my upcoming videos. Students, in our last video we have started new topic, that is sexual reproduction in plants, and we have already discussed about the structure of a flower. We have seen the male and female reproductive parts in a flower. In today's video, we are going to read about the mechanism of sexual reproduction in plants. We know that in sexual reproduction, a new individual is produced by the combining of gametes from two parents. Okay. In case of plants, the ovules have to fuse with the pollen grains that are present inside the anther. So in last video, when we discussed about the structure of flower, so in that video you have already read about the anther, then what is a stamen, what is pistil, okay, male and female reproductive parts. So we will start with the pollination. Pollination is the first step in the sexual reproduction of plants. So what is pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma is called pollination. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma is called pollination. Each anther contains thousands of pollen grains. Anther has thousands of pollen grains inside it, and for the reproduction to take place, this transfer of pollen grains is very essential. Without that, there will be no reproduction in plants. So this transfer of pollen grains from one flower, or we can say from anther to the stigma of the flower, it is very essential, and it takes place in two ways. Means it has two types that is self pollination and cross pollination. So we will see one by one. Here you can see the picture of self pollination. Now what is self pollination? Pollination which takes place within the same flower or between two flowers of the same plant is called self pollination. Within the flower, within a same flower, or between two flowers of the same plant, it is called self pollination. Here you can see the pollen grains that are present here on the anther. They are carried by this insect, okay, bee, and they are now transferred here on the stigma of the other flower on the same plant. So this transfer of pollen grains from this anther to the stigma of this flower, it is known as self pollination. So it occurs in the same flower, or it can occur in the other flower of the same plant. So here you can see the structure of anther, okay, and here it is the structure of this pistil, okay. So this is known as self pollination. What happens here, you can see in self pollination, these anthers are there. This is the pea plant flower, and pea plant self pollinates when pollen is transferred from the anther to the stigma. So from anther, these pollen grains are transferred to the stigma, self pollination. Then what is cross pollination? Cross pollination takes place between two flowers that are present on two different plants of the same species. Species will be the same, but the plants will be different, okay, and this is known as cross pollination. So here it is the transfer of pollen grains from this flower to the stigma of this flower, okay, and from this anther to this stigma of other flower. So this is known as cross pollination. So cross pollination is the pollination that involves the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower of other plant of the same species. So it occurs in different plants, okay, different plants of same species. So these are the two types of pollination, self pollination and cross pollination. Now how this pollination occurs, how it takes place. So there are some agents of pollination, we will see it. So how does pollination occurs? Pollination occurs by insects, pollination occurs by wind, water and other birds, okay. So here you can see the picture, and here this beetle is there, this another insect is there, here also one insect is there. So there are so many insects and birds, they transfer these pollen grains from one flower to the other flower, okay. There are various mechanisms involved in the pollination. The various agents involved in the pollination are insects, wind, water, birds and These agents are called pollinating agents. So how these insects they help in pollination? See, insects visit flowers to get nectar. Okay, that we know that insects collect nectar and pollen grains from different flowers. Okay, so we can easily observe that the petals of the flowers that attract insects are brightly colored and beautiful to look. So we have seen so many flowers and we see bright colored and attractive flowers so that they can attract insects for pollination. So these pollen grains stick to the body of the visiting insects. Now here you can see this beetle is there, this insect is there, this another insect is there. So these insects, when they sit on a flower, their legs or their wings or other body parts, they so these pollen grains sticks to these body parts. Okay, then when they sit on the another flower, the pollen grains get transferred to the stigma of this flower. So in this way, these insects carry pollen grains from one flower to the another flower. Here also you can see this the bird. These are the insects, bees and wasps and beetles. Okay. Then next is pollination by wind. So pollination by wind, you can see some plants have small flowers, very small flowers, and the pollen grains are very light and easily carried by the wind. So the flowers that are made in such a way that slight breeze disperses and carries away the pollen grains. Here you can see these very light and small flowers are there. Okay, and these are carried by the wind, and in this way the pollination occurs by the wind. Then pollination by water. In the aquatic plants such as Vallisneria, Hydrilla, etc., pollination is brought about by the water. Just now we have seen the diagram here. So these pollen grains they fall into the water and then they carried by the water to the other flowers. Then pollination by birds. Here we have seen another picture, birds. Okay, so birds also, when they visit a flower, these pollen grains stick to their body parts, and when they again visit to another flower, these pollen grains are dusted off on this flower and the pollination occurs. Okay, so in this way these all the agents of pollination help in pollinating the flowers. Okay, then fertilization is the second step that is involved in the sexual reproduction in plants. During fertilization, what happens? Ovule and the pollen grains they fuse to form a zygote. After this formation of zygote, this zygote undergoes repeated cell division, and from the single cell it becomes a many celled embryo, and this embryo is protected inside a seed. So let's see in the diagram how it is. Here you can see the female reproductive parts of a flower, that is pistil. It consists of stigma, then this is style, the neck-like structure, and the swollen ovary. Okay, so these are the female reproductive parts of a flower. So what happens actually in the fertilization, that we will see. See, when the pollen grain reaches the stigma, here it is this yellow colored part, it is the pollen grain. When it reaches to the stigma of this flower, what happens? It develops a pollen tube. This pollen grain develops a pollen tube. This pollen tube you can see here, and it goes to the ovary. Okay, so this pollen tube that grows down through the style, it grows through this style and reaches the ovary. This tube carries male gamete that is produced by the pollen grains. Pollen grains, we know they are produced inside the anther, and anther is the male reproductive part of the flower. So these pollen grains they contain male gametes, and the male gametes produced by these pollen grains they are carried to the ovary. Okay, the male gamete is then discharged into the ovule that is present inside the ovary here. Okay, ovule contains a female gamete called egg. Here this you can see this egg. So this is the female gamete, and male gamete fuses with the female gamete here inside the ovary. So this fertilization takes place inside the ovary, and this whole process is known as fertilization. Okay, so this sperm cells means the male gametes you can say, and they are discharged into the ovary. Okay, so after reaching in the ovary, these pollen grains contain two male gametes. One of the male gamete passes through the pollen tube and reaches the egg in the ovule. Here it fuses with the egg and zygote is formed. Okay, so in this way this fertilization takes place in the flower. Then the next step is formation of fruits and seeds. After fertilization, the ovary grows into a fruit. Ovary grows into a fruit, and the ovules, they grow into the seeds. All the other parts of the flower, they fall off after they get dry, and zygote divides to form an embryo that lies within the seed. Just now I told you that this embryo, it is protected inside the seed. Embryo contains one or two cotyledons. Embryo contains one or two cotyledons which store food for the future offspring, or we can say future new plant. The fertilized and developed ovule containing embryo is called seed. So in this way these fruits and seeds are formed. With time the seed hardens. The seed, it becomes hard and it dries. Then the ovary wall harden and become a pod as in poppy, or it may become a fleshy and succulent as in plum or tomatoes. We have seen different types of fruits. So the whole ovary after fertilization, it grows into a fruit. So in this way we have seen that formation of fruits and seeds after fertilization. So here you can see the diagram again. Here it is this is the female reproductive part. Okay, then this pollen tube is forming here. Then these male gametes, they are traveling to the ovary. Then here fertilization occurs inside the ovary. Then this endosperm is formed, which forms the cotyledons of the seed. Okay, and here it is the embryo. Then embryo, it is protected inside the seed, inside the fruit. Okay, seed is inside the fruit and embryo is inside the seed. So in this way this whole process is the reproduction in plants. So here you can see the pea fruit. All have seen the pea, in Hindi we say matar. Okay, so this is the pea flower. This is the stigma here. Okay, then these ovules are here. Ovules become the seeds inside the pod. Okay, and this is the ovary here. So ovary becomes the fruit and the ovules become the seeds inside the fruit. Then the last process or last step in the sexual reproduction in plants is germination of seeds. We know that a seed has hard covering. Many seeds, they are having hard covering. When a seed is placed inside the moist soil, its covering becomes soft. It becomes soft, that outer cover. Okay, and the food inside the seed, it swells up and the shell bursts open. The shell it bursts in the presence of water, and the enzymes present in the seeds digest the stored food and make it soluble, and this soluble food then help the radicle and plumule to grow. So radicle and plumule, these are the growing parts of a seed. When these seeds when seed gets the favorable conditions, that is moisture in the soil and sunlight, then it starts germinating and then it grows radicle and plumule. Okay, the radicle grows first and moves into the soil. Radicle moves into the soil and it forms root of the plant. The plumule grows upwards and it becomes the it comes out of the soil and forms the stem of the plant. And the plumule now utilizes the sunlight to start photosynthesis. As it comes out of the soil, this stem it starts photosynthesis. At this stage the plant starts making its own food. So when this small sapling is there, or we can say seed is there, it gets germinated, and then the shoot part or the stem part that comes out of the soil, it starts photosynthesis because leaves are there, and then it starts growing further. So in this way a new plant grows from a seed. You can see here, this is the seed. When it gets the moisture in the soil, it gets germinated. This is the radicle and it grows inside the soil. Okay, then this covering, hard covering, it opens, and these cotyledons, they move out from the soil. Okay, so this is known as plumule. Plumule is the part which grows into a stem, and now this part or this plant is known as baby plant. Okay, so in this way a new baby plant comes out of the seed. Here you can see this is the plumule, and the roots are inside the soil, and these roots grow from the radicle. So thank you for watching this video. We'll meet again in next video, and we will discuss about the dispersal of seeds and fruits, and we will also discuss about the artificial pollination. So take care. Bye bye.